Good evening, folks. Apologize for being late. As you can probably tell, I got some sun today. Went to my nephew's birthday party at our local wave pool, so definitely got a little bit of sun. But I'm here. Little bit late. But on the plus side, I don't really have to rush things to end the stream so that I can go eat dinner because we just ate. So we're going to be here until we're done. Unfortunately, I didn't really have time to make any tea for this show. So we're doing the zero sugar root beer tonight. So let's go through the comments, and then we can get started on the topic of tonight's show. And first through the door is our wonderful friend, Carl Witzman. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Carl. That was me, still at the party, so he might be late. No problem. Don't hurry on our account. Well, it wasn't entirely on your account because lovely Foxy is a lot more red than me and very much on the verge of being heat sick. So we need to get out of there anyway. So yeah. Had to reschedule. That'd be okay too. Yeah, I thought about it, but we were able to get out in pretty good time. And there is Donna. Good evening, Donna. We would understand. I'm sure you would. And there is my patron, Joe Bachman. Good evening, all. Out to dinner, but should be home shortly after showtime. Well, all right. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your meal. Yes. Joe, how long can you be late before YouTube cancels the show? That's a good question. I'm usually not late, but it would be kind of good to know. And there is Joe's better half. Hey, all. Hello, Trey. And Carl greets Trey. And Donna greets Trey. And there is the lovely Dawn. Evening, kids. Good evening, Dawn. Donna greets Dawn. And Carl greets Dawn. And there is Alec. Face plants on my way in. Alec, I have a question to ask you. If I get through discussing what I want to discuss tonight and we still have time, I'll ask on the air. If not, I will ask through Instagram, or I'll figure something out. Hello, Alec. And Donna greets Alec. And Alec greets Donna. And Carl greets Alec. And Alec greets Carl. Hosts are still at the nephew's party. Yes. So I think YouTube will cancel the show after 5 or 10 minutes. Doesn't look like it. We're still going. We just get kicked out if YouTube cancels. These are all very good questions. It would be nice to know. Almost ready. Yes. And there is Big Brother Richie. Howdy, folks. Glad I can actually show up and not sleep through it all. Well, you picked an interesting one to show up for, that's for sure. I think it just sits like this, but Thesis and Foxy will have to do a new link. Well. And Carl greets Rich. And Donna greets Foxy. He made it. Yes, I did. Donna greeting Rich. Sounds good, Foxy. Yes. Here we go. You did get burned. Yeah. My back and my shoulders are much worse than my face, but by tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday, it'll all be browned off probably. Hope Foxy stayed in the shade. No, she didn't. She was in the water with me and 2 kids for 2.5 hours, give or take. Yeah. And away we go. Yes. Foxy looks like a fox all red. Yep. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you, Donna. I'm really, really terrible about that. I hopefully will get better. We'll see. Even use sunblock. This is true. I did not. Poor Foxy, yeah. And Carl liked the stream. Good to know. Took swimsuit off. I have white lines on red skin. Yeah. Need one of those outfits they wear in the Middle East, except it would be boiling. Feel free to ask whenever. Yeah, I want to try and stay on topic, and I don't think it will take the entire show. So if I have time left over at the end, I'll definitely try to remember. You look like a red panda with stripes. Kinda. She kind of does. I literally came right through the door and jumped right on StreamYard, so. Burkas are actually very cool. All right. It's good to know. If there's a green room later, I'll show off. Let's not. So, I should have done this the first stream of June because it is Pride Month. I wanted to do something dealing with pride and staying with the overall theme of the channel of, Chinese culture and philosophy and martial arts and things like that. And I couldn't really think of anything at first. And then I remembered this. This is one of many English translations of the novel Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation by Mo Xiang Tao Shu. And that book is the basis for probably my all-time favorite Chinese drama, The Untamed. I'm fairly certain I've mentioned the show before. Down in the description is the link to the Wikipedia articles for both the book and the TV show, as well as one link that I usually use to watch the entire 50-episode season. Chinese dramas do not screw around. They generally have one season and between 30 and 65 episodes. The Untamed has 50. And it is, like I said, probably my all-time favorite Chinese drama. Excuse me. I watched it all the way through 4 times in 4 years. So I basically watch it once every year. Oh, let's see here. Sorry, Donna, I closed the app on my phone right after I sent that message. YouTube doesn't cancel the show. Only Facebook will do that. Well, Facebook can kiss my ass. Sweet Joe, yes. Good to know we only care about YouTube, yes. I don't even have enough friends or fans or whatever, likes or whatever they need on Facebook to be able to stream there. I'm going to be streaming only to YouTube. I don't have anywhere else for it to go. I don't have a Twitter anymore. I abandoned that ship. I have an Instagram. That's pretty much it. So it's going to be right here. Uh-oh. Made it home in time to put you on the big screen. Well, it's probably a good thing that I lowered my blinds over here, because I would probably be blinding people. Well, Carl's happy about something. Have him on PC as I paint. Streams are always interesting. Well, I'm glad you think so. Hello. Rare Foxy sighting. She's filling up her gigantic water bottle that I got her for Christmas a couple of years ago. Hydration, yeah. She definitely needs water. She didn't really drink much while we were in the pool. And Dawn says hi. Yeah, see, she's ready.
That happens.
She is a pretty foxy, isn't she? She doesn't think so. Gatorade repeater. See, she doesn't drink Gatorade. She says it makes her sick. And we don't have any Pedialyte in the house. And Trey said hello. Poor Foxy, I know. And she put sunscreen on like 3 times. When we first got to the pool. And then we got out once because we thought we were going to go to the inside pool, which would have been better. And then one more when we, pretty much decided we were done in the water. She put some more on. She is a very pretty Foxy. That's right. Gatorade and Powerade both have coconut oil. Yeah, that's true. Don't forget to water your Foxy for maximum foxiness. You know what? I have a sign for that. Yes, I do. Yeah. Have to drink either every day because I naturally dehydrate. So does she. Turn red like a tomato. I prefer vampire. So does she. You saw that, right? Wonder why Gatorade disagreed with me. Yeah. We tend to kind of look over most things, and a lot of them do have coconut oil. Didn't know that. Yeah. Coconut oil is in a lot of things. I have discovered that over the past 20 plus years. Allergic to coconut, so I read labels almost neurotically. Not almost. Now, this is going to be an interesting exercise in patience, perhaps. I'm going to do everything in my power to discuss the gay relationship between the two main characters without giving away the plot of the book or the series. So it's going to be mostly discussing these two characters. So we're going to try this. I do not know how this is going to turn out. I should probably be drinking water too. Alex says my scars are also more visible this time of year, so I do prefer to stay pale. I don't have an option of staying pale. I have Native American blood, so I'm naturally dark anyway. And then stuff like this happens. Like I said, in 2 or 3 days, it will just be dark. It won't peel. It won't get brighter red. It'll darken. Coconut is one of the few things I'm not allergic to, which is good because I love coconut is an interesting flavor. Nick Carey's a great book by a friend of his about a gay couple at a Ren fair. Okay. Good to know. So, Lan Wangji, Wei Wuxian. Those are your two main characters. They start out in the beginning very much not liking each other. Well, that's not entirely true. Wei Wuxian kind of likes everybody. He's a bit of a troublemaker. He likes doing things that bend the rules. He's not a big fan of rules. He kind of likes to do what he likes to do. Meanwhile, Lan Wangji is the exact opposite. He is very much by the books. He's very much, these are the rules. This is what you have to do. You don't stray from these rules, because if you stray from these rules, that's bad. The first time that our main characters actually fight each other, Wei Wuxian is visiting the temple where Lan Wangji lives. Every clan in the land sends their young apprentices to the temple to learn. And the temple has lots and lots and lots of rules. Excuse me again. And Wei Wuxian, within 10 minutes of being at the temple, has broken several rules. He brings alcohol into the temple, which is not allowed. He sneaks in after dark, which is not allowed. and he gains entry without his clan's invitation. So, yeah, within 10 minutes of meeting each other, he's already broken 3 rules. And Lan Wangji does not like rule breakers, so they fight almost immediately upon meeting. It's not technically their first meeting because they met earlier in the day, but it's not a great first impression. But over time, as tends to happen in most of these kinds of stories, they work together. And as they're working together, Lan Wangji softens to Wei Wuxian's brashness, I guess. And I would say by the middle of the story, they are really, really close. Now, I think it's actually necessary to mention this part of the plot because it's really, really important to the character development of these 2 characters. So, the very beginning of the story starts in the middle of the story. It's one of those lovely in media res kind of stories where it starts not at the beginning, but in the middle. And Wei Wuxian, he dies at the very beginning of the story. Within probably the first, I'm going to say 8 to 10 minutes of the TV series, one of your main characters is thrown off a cliff. Yeah. And yeah, exactly. He's very charismatic, but he's also a monumental pain in the ass. He really is. Oh, say hi to your parents, Don. Yeah, say hi for us. Hope they're doing well. Yes. Oh, they flooded pretty good. Uh-oh. Taking on some water, but not sure how bad. Yeah, we had a pretty good rainstorm yesterday that flooded a lot of our streets. It was, yeah. Best wishes for them, yes. Sounds like my spy novel. You should check it out. Like I said, Foxy first found this series way back in 2020. And we watched it while we were on quarantine. No, we watched it before that. That's right. Because we watched it before she went and got her reduction done. And then I bought it for us that Christmas. So it was in... God, I don't even remember. It was like in early 2020, and I've literally watched it once a year. Every single year. I have the DVD of the entire series, and there's also an anime, but the anime that came with the DVDs is only the first 2/3. But you can find it on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. Gonna have to check the series out. Yes. like I said, there's a link in the description to a website called Viki, Viki, and they have thousands of Asian dramas, not just Chinese, Japanese, Korean. They have movies, they have TV series, but I watch The Untamed every single year. Yes, it's also on Netflix, and I think it might also be on Amazon Prime, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think it might be. It is really good. So you have your main character dead, or one of your main characters, the very, very beginning. The first shot that you see is Lan Wangji diving towards the end of a cliff to catch Wei Wuxian as he's falling backwards. And Wei Wuxian is telling him, you have to let me go. If you don't let me go, we're both going to die. But Lan Wangji does not want to let go. He does not want to see this person that he's in love with die. But he falls anyway. Then you go, I don't even remember how long, and that's bad on my part. But it goes forward in time for a few years, quite a few years. 16 years. Yes, I just looked it up on Wikipedia. It jumps 16 years into the future, and Lan Wangji is still looking for Wei Wuxian. He crawled down to the bottom of a canyon to look for the body, and they never found one. In about 15. It's actually 16 years. I just looked it up. And you get introduced to another character who is being bullied by all of the people in his clan. And he goes through this, I mean, let's call it what it is, an ancient blood ritual to call Wei Wuxian back from the dead. And he gets to possess this other character's body to get revenge for all of the people that have wronged the vessel. So Wei Wuxian gets to come back after 16 years. And Lan Wangji is still waiting for him. And then you have a couple of episodes in the present. Then it goes back to show the relationship developing from the very beginning. So you have story starts here, goes forward 16 years, then goes back probably 17 or 18 years to show how the relationship between the two main characters actually developed over time. And you get to see them starting out with Lan Wangji absolutely hating Wei Wuxian. He literally hates him. He wants nothing to do with him, but the Grandmaster of the clan keeps shoving them together and making them do things. it is very much a enemies to lovers trope, but with two men. And obviously there are other characters in the story as well. Wei Wuxian's adopted family, his adopted father, mother, who absolutely hates him, his adopted brother, and sister. Wei Wuxian and his brother and sister are the ones who originally go to the temple to learn. And while they're there, another clan shows up who are the bad guys. And when you first meet these people, you will know. They're arrogant. Not Wei Wuxian is also arrogant. But these people are worse. You will know when you meet them. And through that group of people starts the snowball of the main storyline of the past. And it connects to the present storyline, but not in the way that people would actually expect. Now, I'm not going to give it away because I really think people should watch this show. It is an excellent show. I watched it several times. Foxy's watched it at least twice. Every other person that I've introduced this show to, they're just like, wow. There's one person that I know. I'm not going to name names because it's not really important. But each episode is about between 45 and 50 minutes long. If you don't have to worry about ads. There's one person that I introduced this show to who watched the entire thing all the way through, only stopping to sleep. He would start the show in the morning, watch it all day long, go to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and get up and do it again. Because he had to know what happened next. He's like, I gotta know. I have to know what happens. I have to know how this happened, or why this happened, or what happened to this character. There are certain things in the storyline that directly affect the relationship between Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian. And I'm trying to not give up the story while still talking about these things. And it's kind of difficult. Seems like a great show. Okay. If you're watching the TV series, because it was filmed and distributed in China, they very, very much downplay the relationship between your two main characters. There are things that happen in this book. Let's just put it this way. The adult stickers that pop up on some of Donna's books, this needs one. There is some very explicit gay action, if you know what I'm saying, in this book. It doesn't happen in the TV series. It can't. It would not get past the censors. So, Alec, if you want to watch this, feel free. Because you're going to see some things that are going to allude to a relationship, that are going to allude to an intimate relationship with your two main characters without actually showing it. Now you really, if you can find this book, I got this off Amazon. This is, all of this is just book one. It is, let me see. That doesn't count. Mm-hmm. 350 pages. This is just book one. In the back, and this is something that I actually kind of enjoy. You have a character guide that talks about all of the main characters, their names, the weapons that they use. It has a location guide telling you about all the places that the story takes place. This is something that I should have brought up when I was back doing my my episode on Chinese names. This is a whole primer on Chinese names. A pronunciation guide. Very, very, very important. And a glossary of terms. So, if you can find this book on Amazon, get it. Because, obviously, I watched the TV series first. I haven't watched the anime. Anime is not my thing. I'm sorry, it's not. I haven't watched the anime. But I watched the TV series first. Then I got the book. There is stuff in that book that would never, ever make it past the censors. Yeah, exactly. Communists don't like that at all. Already sold us on it. Good. Go watch the show. If you want to watch the anime, I think the anime is on Viki too. If you can get the book, get the book. Hence why I'm not reading the book. I kind of assumed that was the case. Yeah. You can't have this book for a couple more years. If you want to read it in a couple of years, go for it. Yeah. Character guide, yeah. And I haven't looked through it. I haven't looked through the character guide because after watching the show, I already knew. I'm not sure if all of the characters are in it or if it just goes through like the main, you know, the main people. Ah, yes, there's also a wiki. That's right. I will try to remember after I'm done here to go back through the description and go find the wiki too. The wiki goes through even more than the character guide does. There's people in the wiki that aren't even in the show. They're mentioned. Like Wei Wuxian's parents They are actually in the wiki. Uh-oh. What do we got here? Oh, Don's going to poop. Okay. Just got off the phone with Bib, and while they don't have inches of water, they would if they weren't sucking the water with 2 shop vacs. Yes. Shop vacs are good for that. You go take care of your parents. It's all good. You can watch the replay. It's all good. Hope things dry up soon. Yes. So you have 2 male characters, one of which starts off just absolutely hating the other. And then you have Wei Wuxian, who, I don't know how else to put this. So, let's just bring this back up for a second. You have one character that absolutely hates the other. And then you have a character that I think kind of gets off on being... Alec, plug your ears. Wei Wuxian is a brat. People who are in the community know what I mean. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And we'll just stop right there. He enjoys pushing buttons. But he also cares deeply for everyone in his orbit. His brother and sister, who, not forget, are adopted, are the 2 people that he cares about the most. Until he meets Lan Wangji, his adopted father. Cares deeply. He even defers to his adopted mother, who hates his guts. He cares about so many people so deeply. Now, I have to be careful here, because I don't want to give too much away. He cares so deeply for people that he gives up his abilities, his powers, to his brother. And he has to develop an entirely new way of fighting because of what he did for his brother. I think I can talk about this without giving things away. Demonic cultivation. Cultivators in this universe are people... Okay, they're Ghostbusters. We'll just call it that. They go out into the world, they capture spirits, usually kill them, or not kill them because they're spirits, and dissipate them. That's what all of the clans were going to the temple to learn, is how to be cultivators. Every cultivator, now this is something that actually kind of translates to real life. Every cultivator has something called a golden core. It lives, stand up a little bit, right here. Right here. Now, poor family, yes. Hopefully they'll get things, hope they'll be okay, yeah. Hopefully things will change soon. Wasn't listening, turned on music full blast once you said don't listen. Yeah. Good job. You get a cookie. Now, anyone who has ever done any kind of Tai Chi, Qigong, anything like that, will know the term Dantian. Dantian is that same spot. That is the center of your chi, of your life force. All of your chi starts in your stomach. Actually, it's a little below, slightly, I think it's like 3 fingers below your belly button, and circulates through your entire body. In the show, that's the golden core. If you don't have a golden core in this universe, you cannot be a cultivator. You can't do it. The golden core affects your stamina. It affects your sword fighting. It affects pretty much every single aspect of your life. So if you don't have a golden core, you cannot be a cultivator. Wei Wuxian's adopted brother gets his golden core destroyed in a fight. They say without a golden core, you will be only mediocre. And Wei Wuxian looks at his brother and says, no, we're not doing this. So he goes and he finds a doctor and he pores over medical books for days without eating until he finds a procedure to transfer golden core from one person to another. And he willingly transfers his golden core to his brother. And he had to be awake and alert throughout the entire process. It took days. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. He had to be awake for the entire thing. He did all of that so that his brother could continue working and living the life that he had been living. And Wei Wuxian had to develop, all on his own, a different method of cultivation. And because of that, he gets ostracized by everyone. Everyone calls him evil because of the way that he does things afterwards. And the only person who stays by his side is Lan Wangji. Everyone else turns on him. His brother turns on him. His entire clan turns on him. They all ostracize him because he no longer did things the right way. But Lan Wangji stays by his side. Not only stays by his side, but defends him. The entire cultivating world turns on this one person. They all turn on him. Except for Lan Wangji. His brother turns on him. He saves the lives of people from a clan that tried to kill him, including the doctor that saved the brother's life, women and children and old men that didn't fight. They didn't do anything, but because they had that last name, the entire cultivating world is like, well, screw those people. They all have to die. And Wei Wuxian says, like hell. He saves them for a little while. Not going to get too much into that. But over time, yeah, good brother. No, that is an amazing brother. Wow, yeah, Wow is right. No one else probably would have cared. But because he had been raised alongside this other man, that was his brother. That was his family. He had to do something. So he gave up his own cultivation to protect his brother. And several times, because of his new cultivation method, people turn on Lan Wangji as well. And Wei Wuxian is right there to go, don't you touch him. You leave him alone. I might not be able to fight anymore, but I can do other things to kick your ass. He completely works out his own style of cultivation completely from scratch. You can see little hints of it when he's at the temple. When he asks the temple grandmaster why they have to disperse the spirits, why can't I use them? And he actually gives a really good explanation of how and why he should be able to do this. And the grandmaster is just like, no, that's not how we do things. You go kneel in the courtyard on rocks as punishment for saying, wait a minute, why can't we do things this other way? It's just the kind of person he is. He doesn't see things in black and white. He sees the shades of gray and says, now, wait a minute, hold on, because just because this is the way it is now, just the way it's always been, doesn't mean it has to stay this way. And along the way, during the flashbacks, you get to see Lan Wangji go from, I hate this guy. He is annoying and just a general pain in the ass. And then they fight together and they almost die several times together. And they have very, very close. They have intimate moments without it being explicit in the TV series. In the book, it can get pretty explicit later on. But if you want a book, an anime, TV show with really, really good character development, when you actually see a person go from being a completely by the book, hard ass to bending and breaking rules, he breaks some of his own rules from his temple just to protect Wei Wuxian once he comes back from the dead. He breaks his own rules. He breaks the temple's rules. And he does it happily and proudly. He looks his own Grandmaster in the face and he doesn't tell him off, but he also doesn't back away either. And before that, he would have backed off. He would have just been like, yes, yes, and been like, okay, we'll do it your way. After Wei Wuxian comes back from the dead, and after they have a couple of close calls, and Wei Wuxian is standing by his side, fighting back to back, he's like, okay, maybe things aren't as black and white as I originally thought there were. Maybe the way that things have always been doesn't need to be the way that things always are. And I think that's probably all I'm going to be able to say without really, really going into the plot and giving away things that would just completely give away, the ending. But I will say this. And this is not about the two main characters. But there is one person. One. Who is behind every single calamity that befalls Wei Wuxian. Everything that happens to him throughout the course of the entire show is all because of one person. And if you pay attention, you will know who it is the first time you meet him. Because the first time he popped up on screen, when I watched the show the first time, the very first time, he showed up on screen, and my first reaction is, I don't like him. I really don't like him. And Richie, you're not too far off. You're not too far off. Yes, he is a smarmy little bastard. And you don't find out until later on. And then you start to connect the dots. And you get to see how this one person started the snowball that rolled down the hill and ran Wei Wuxian's ass over. I'm trying. Yeah. I'm trying not to give it away. Alfred would be petty. Alfred would pull out a friggin' shotgun and blow somebody's head off. He would not go 7D chess on somebody just because. No, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to give it away. Please watch the show. I want to say something, but I'm not going to. Yes, I can hear you back there laughing at me. This is the kind of stuff that happens. I will watch a show and want to discuss it with her, but she can't watch things the same way that I can. I can knock out a 50, 60, 65 episode series in under a month. And I will be like, I want to talk about this, but I can't because she hasn't watched it yet. Please watch the show. And we are, just over the hour. And my banners haven't been going for the entire time. So, you can check out my photographs and some of my journals and boffer weapons at deviantart.com/bladed thesis, spelled just like you see down here. You can come and be a patron, like Joe, patreon.com/bladed thesis. Or you can buy some merch at bonfire.com/the-teahouse-store. It's a store now. There's still only the one shirt in there, but it's still a store. And indiecd.org. Got to stop doing that. Absolutely wonderful website. Artists, authors, comic book artists, inkers, musicians. If you need something to read, you need something drawn, you want a stream to watch, check out IndieCD. Right here. And hey, if you want something to read, my very first published short story for Apelian magazine, Darker Angels. I enjoyed it. Most of the people who read it enjoyed it. So much so that I've continued to write. Started out as a short story. I left the ending completely open-ended, while also closing it off enough that if I wanted to leave it there, I could. And then so many people said, no, please keep going, that I had to figure out where I wanted the story to go. And I'm getting there. I'm on chapter 5. So there are 4 more chapters of this story already. Go back through these last few comments. Good show. Thank you. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Alec. I will send you a message on Instagram for that question I wanted to ask you. Now I have to get the book and hunt down the series. Check the description. Down in the description, there's a link for Vicky. That's the link to the TV series. I can try and see if Amazon still has the book. If it does, I will add that to the description. Please go watch it, read the book. We can discuss. Because, damn. Foxy's going to go shower. Probably a good idea. Hope you have a better evening. I'm gonna take care of her. Great show as always. Thank you, Joe. And again, thank you for the offer. People are going to see things a little bit differently on the next show. Not going to get too much into it, but things are going to be a little bit different. Speaking of, what are we looking at? July 7th. Unless I decide to do a show next Sunday, I'm still toying with the idea of doing alternating weekend days so that I can have 4 shows per month so that all of my lovely sword family, who I love dearly, would not have to wait a week until the next show. So, shirt is great and super comfy. I am so glad that I was able to find a good distributor for that shirt. And I'm glad that someone actually bought one. Because now I have a customer review so that if people ask, I can be like, yeah, go talk to this person. They bought one and they like it. Not my first toasting. Yeah. Saturday Night Green Room. Well. After I cool my poor skin off a bit. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. You should probably do that. So, July 7th. Unless I do one on the 30th. I love you all dearly. You are all my sword family. I look forward to this every single time. I always worry that I'm not going to have enough material to talk for an hour, and then we're over an hour. We're an hour and 9 minutes now. To the people who may watch this in the future, please watch The Untamed. Please. There are 2 movies that take place after the main series that show what happened to a couple of side characters after the main story. Go watch it, please. It's awesome. And until next time, 再见。